All right, let's talk about our brains. We like to think we're in the driver's seat, making smart, logical choices. But what if I told you that most of our decisions are actually shaped by hidden forces we don't even notice? That's what we're diving in today based on Dan Ariely's incredible work. It turns out, we're not just irrational, we're predictably irrational.
I mean, think about it. You've totally done this. You walk up to the counter, you're planning on getting the small popcorn, but then you see the medium is only 50 cents more. So you get it. Or what about adding something totally random to your online cart just to get that sweet, sweet free shipping? We all do it. Well, it turns out there's a method to our madness.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about one of the biggest tricks our minds play on us, relativity. The idea here is simple, but it's incredibly powerful. We almost never know the true value of something on its own. We need to compare it to something else. We need context.
So, picture this. A company starts selling a new bread maker. It's priced at 99 bucks. Seems like a fair price, maybe? But here's the problem. Sales are just flat. People come up, they look at the price tag, and they think, $99. Is that good? I have no idea. And since they can't compare it to anything, they just walk away.
So the company tries something that sounds completely nuts. They introduce a second bread maker, a bigger, fancier one, and they put it right next to the original, but they price it at $199. Now customers see two options side by side.
And what do you think happened? It's wild. Sales of the cheaper $99 bread maker went through the roof. Nothing about that original machine changed. Not the price, not the features, nothing. The only thing that changed was the context. All of a sudden, that $99 machine looked like an incredible deal compared to the big one next to it.
And that right there is the relativity principle in a nutshell. We just don't have some kind of internal meter for value. Instead, we are always looking at the options in front of us and thinking which one is better relative to the other one. The $99 bread maker wasn't a good deal in a vacuum. It only became a fantastic deal when that $199 decoy showed up. And once you see this, you start seeing it absolutely everywhere. You know that super expensive bottle of wine on the menu? Yeah, they probably don't expect to sell many. It's there to make that second most expensive bottle look like a total bargain. Or when a marketer says, hey, this is less than the cost of 2 dinners out, they're framing it so the price seems tiny. The takeaway? Context is king. All right, let's move on to our next little brain glitch. And trust me, this one is huge. It's our bizarre, all-consuming obsession with the word free. There's something about the price of zero that just completely short-circuits our rational brain.
Yeah, Dan Ariely really nails it here. Free isn't just another price point, like $1 or 50 cents. It's a massive emotional trigger. It fires off this huge positive reaction that just makes us forget to think critically about what we're actually getting or giving up.
I mean, just look at this classic example. The total cost for both of these purchases is exactly the same, $68. But which one feels better? Come on, be honest. It's purchase B, right? Every time. Getting that shipping for free just gives us this little burst of joy. It's totally illogical, but it's how we're built.
So what is the magic behind free? Well, it taps into our deep-seated fear of loss. You see, whenever we pay for something, there's a tiny little voice in our head that says, what if this is a mistake? What if I regret this? But when something is free, that voice just shuts up. Our brain thinks, hey, no risk, no downside. What could I possibly lose? And so we grab it.
But here's the thing. Free is almost never actually free, is it? Just think about those free cone days at your local ice cream shop. People will stand in line for 2 hours, sometimes longer, just to get an ice cream cone that would normally cost, what, $3 or $4? They see the price as zero, but they're totally ignoring the real cost, their time.
Let's just do the math for a second, because it's kind of shocking. If you wait in line for 2 hours to get a $3 ice cream cone, you're basically saying your time is worth $1.50 an hour. $1.50? Would you ever take a job that pays that little? No way! But we happily work for that wage when the prize is free. It's a perfect case of being predictably irrational.
Okay, this next idea is so interesting because it explains so much about awkward human interactions. It turns out we all live in 2 separate worlds at the same time, a social world and a market world. And when we get the rules for those 2 worlds mixed up, things get really weird really fast. Let me paint you a picture. Your neighbor's car breaks down. You're a nice person, so you spend an hour under the hood with them getting it running again. You feel good, they feel grateful. It's a great neighborly moment. But then, as you're wiping the grease off your hands, they pull out their wallet and try to hand you $5. How do you feel? All of a sudden, you're annoyed, maybe even a little insulted, right?
See, what just happened there is a collision between two totally different rulebooks. You were operating under social norms, the warm, fuzzy world of favors and community. Your neighbor, by offering you cash, suddenly dragged you into market norms, the cold, hard world of wages and transactions. And when you slap a market price on a social gesture, it can feel like a genuine insult.
And if you want proof, look no further than this wild experiment with a group of lawyers. When researchers asked them to help out needy people for a discounted rate, $30 an hour, every single lawyer said no. I mean, from a market perspective, it's a terrible wage. But then they asked another group to do the exact same work for free. And what happened? Most of them said yes. Asking for free triggered their social side, their desire to do good. The $30 offer just felt like a crummy business deal.
Okay, so we've established our brains are a little bit wonky, but here's the cool part. We can actually use these predictable patterns to our advantage. Let's talk about one of the most common human struggles of all, procrastination, and how we can use our own irrationality to finally beat it.
So Ariely did this brilliant experiment with his own students. He split his class into two groups. He told the first group, you have 3 papers due this semester. You can turn them in whenever you want, just as long as it's by the last day of class. Total freedom. For the second group, he set 3 firm, non-negotiable deadlines, spaced out over the semester.
And the results? Not even close. The students who had the deadlines forced on them by the professor got way better grades. It's fascinating, right? We think we want total freedom, but we actually do better work when we have structure imposed on us. We're wired to procrastinate, and we need an external push to get things done.
So how do we use this? It's actually a pretty simple 2-step toolkit for your own life. Step 1. Be your own professor. For any big project, set hard, artificial deadlines for yourself. Don't just say, I'll clean the garage someday. Say, it will be done by Sunday at 5 p.m. Step 2. If that's not enough, you've got to bring in the big guns, a punishment.
And we're not talking about a slap on the wrist here. These punishments need to have real bite. Doctors have discovered that if they make patients prepay a deposit that they'll lose if they miss their appointment, people actually show up. You could set a rule where if you miss your workout goal, you have to donate $500 to a political party you can't stand. The pain of the punishment has to be greater than the pain of doing the task. So, at the end of the day, it's pretty clear our decisions are always being influenced by these invisible forces: relativity, the siren song of free, and our own tendency to put things off. But the awesome thing is, once you know about them, you can start to spot them. You can start to take back control. So I'll leave you with this. Knowing what you now know, what's one irrational choice you can predict you're going to make this week? And what are you going to do to outsmart your own brain?